It's happening right now, in homes, in schools, in communities and online. Most often, it's not strangers. For many children, violence wears a familiar face. Nearly a quarter of 1-year-olds are shaken and hit by their parents. 3 out of 4 young children are violently disciplined on a regular basis. Millions of teenage girls are forced into sexual acts by people they know. A slap in the face, a curse, an inappropriate advance. Any kind of violence against a child is unacceptable. Stand up, speak out, join us. End violence against children.
Earlier this month, the Convention on the Rights of the Child took place here at the UN Geneva. Their main task is, through its committee, to review the reports submitted by the states parties to the Convention. Alessandra Aula is the Secretary General of the International Catholic Child Bureau, BICE. BICE believes that the protection of children is based on human rights that apply to everyone, including children.
So why is it then necessary to have, special rights of children?
Well, I wouldn't talk about special rights. It's more an engagement, and in a sense it's a call to adults to pay attention to this particular situation where children are especially vulnerable, especially I'm thinking about judiciary procedures, for example, where the best interests of the child has to be taken into account. But child rights are human rights, and I think it's good enough if we stand with this.
And, of course, as we should, being the Committee of the Rights of the Child, we are working directly with children. Children that are, who are invited and come to our pre-sessions, and children who give us impact, writing us letters, giving us information, and so on.
It is important, clearly, as the Convention states, to hear the voice of children, to involve them, to sensitize them, to raise them a culture of rights, in a way, conscious of rights, and the respect, solidarity and respect for their peers and for their family and for the school. We need to have people prepared also to listen to the word of children, because this also happens in the judiciary. How do you listen correctly to the word of a child? Also, there again, depending on his age, even more.
Do you have some influence to shape the objectives of the committee, of the wording of the text, of the right of the child?
Well, particularly in our case, I should say that the International Catholic Child Bureau was at the part of the drafting of the convention, because we were really one of the pioneer NGOs in accompanying this process.
So you really cause an impact, one could say. And when you make suggestions, do you check what the teachings of the Church are?
Well, definitely we are guided by the Church social teachings, by the encyclicas of the popes, so and by the Gospel at the end, which goes for us also hand in hand with development and with charity. And in doing that, we see that we have a space open to talk with delegates and experts. And again, as I said, specifically in the convention, the world's spiritual, moral dimension, these are there, also thanks to the work of Catholic-inspired NGOs.
From your point of view, how does it look worldwide right now with the implementation of the right of the child? How does this look like at the moment?
A culture of rights has been developed in this last 30 years. Did we succeed everywhere? No, there's still a long way to go. There are cultural barriers also that we have to face, and we have to also sensitize much judiciary, children themselves, teachers, parents, to really create this what we call well-treating environment, because that goes beyond the respect of the rights themselves, but it really to create a way where living for children is appropriate, is adequate, is what we say in the jargon, it's child-friendly.
The UN General Assembly ratified the Rights of the Child in 1990. Currently, every member of the United Nations are part of it, except the United States, who signed but did only ratify 2 optional protocols: the involvement of children in armed conflict and on the sale of children, child prostitution and child pornography.